Hello, everyone, and thank you all for being here. This is a casual with Benny, who is the Fool's Apprentice. Benny, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So, thank you very much for being here. I am Taro Stash. Thank you for being here. My usual things, please like, share, and subscribe this video. It's free. Also, remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based on anything we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. And let's see, what else am I looking at? Oh, we are going to be talking about some tarot decks. So I want to put this out there. Purchase responsibly. Know your limits. We are here to share, not to sell. So, Benny, thank you for saying yes.
Yeah, this is wonderful, and like it was an easy yes.
Oh.
So, I mean, I didn't even have to think about it. So, thank you so much for inviting me. It's actually a very nice pleasure, and it's my first time being on someone's channel, so this is great.
And let me rub my tiny hands together. So, anyhow, by the way, I have a lot of props.
I've noticed. I've watched your channel. So when you invited me to be on, it was the first time I had heard of you. Like I said, your feed had never come up, so I came on. And you have some quirky stuff that goes on. It makes me laugh. I love it. It's hilarious.
Thank you. It is part of why I do this. So today, Benny and I are going to chat. We're going to get to know each other and all of you along for the ride. And what is your beverage that you are having today?
So I'm having two. I am having coffee and water. And I usually have a third, but I was running late, which would be a Dr. Pepper.
Okay. Dr. Pepper in a can or in a bottle, 2 liter?
Put them in another Starbucks tumbler in a different color, of course. But many years ago, I lost a lot of my salivary glands. And so I constantly have to have something to drink. Otherwise, my mouth gets extremely dry, and then it starts getting uncomfortable, and I start making all these noises. And so it's just what I do.
Okay. All right. I'm having my mushroom infused coffee.
Did you make it yourself?
Actually, my husband made it for me this morning.
Oh, okay.
So that's good. But no, I did not make the mushroom infused coffee by myself. I bought it, and I also drink water. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah, I need to drink more water.
So
I'm about it.
But well, let's do this thing and say hello to the best chatters who are here. Because, and by the way, all of Benny's links are listed below in the chat, or excuse me, all of Benny's links are listed below in the description. So do please go over and show some support. And we have, and I did pin this so that people know where we are. Delphi Ross is here. And Delphi is entertained by a bunch of different birds around the bird feeder.
Okay.
That's cool. Do you know Chris Elemental Cartomancy?
No.
Okay. Chris Elemental Cartomancy is in the UK and Scotland.
Okay.
Right, Chris, please, if I got that wrong. Chris does really good readings. He does something called roundtable readings, where he invites someone on and he will read for them live. It's quite fascinating.
Very cool.
Quite fascinating. Hypnicity is here. That's Nalani. And Chris likes my countdown.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. It is a very cool countdown. I have to agree with him 100%.
Thank you for that. We have Laura Hammond Davis. Good to see you. We have Laura Bondura. And Nancy of Crohn's Intuition is here. Nancy and Jane will be reading with me on Monday morning, doing readings. Candy Mullen is here. Hi, Candy. Jamie, Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. And people are saying hi to you.
Oh, new people to me.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, and that's the beauty of YouTube. People will discover, some of my old videos are have a lot of views because people are searching for things, and that's how they find me. Vanessa S is here. Hello. And looking. Patty D is here. And by the way, this is Jamie, Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. She is not a fan of the tiny hands. So
Oh,
I will be putting the tiny hands away after I fix my mustache and adjust my glasses. So, but
that's hilarious.
and new subscriber. So there you go.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, and Chris is saying, Jamie, you should come on with one of those big foam hands next time you're live with Gerald to counteract the tiny hands. That would be funny.
That would be interesting.
Yes. And thank you, Nancy. Nancy also subscribed and posted your
Oh,
link.
thank you, Nancy. That's so sweet. I really appreciate it.
Yes, yes, yes. Rossi is here. Hello, Rossi. Good to see you. Moonchild. These are people you probably don't know, right?
Yeah.
So, and we will get to Benny's channel and what you can all expect when you subscribe to his channel, because there are good things. Some of that, if you've read the description, you already know that. So,
I hope so.
yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Moonchild is here. Hello. So, I'm going to take a sip and then, so Benny, what brought you? Okay, this is that weird thing. What's your origin story?
My origin story, how I got into TarotTube?
Yes, how you got into TarotTube, as well as into tarot or cards or that metaphysical thing, whatever we call this.
So when it comes to tarot cards, so I'd say about 10 years ago, I was just going through YouTube, and I don't know where this channel came up that talked about tarot. Never heard about tarot before, never seen it in a movie or TV show, didn't know anything about it. My memory's not the best, but I believe it was Katie Flowers.
Yes.
And I was immediately fascinated. One, I found her very engaging and sweet, and she just made me smile from the inside out.
You got it.
And she started talking about the tarot. I became quite taken with it. And I'm always on a spiritual journey. I use spirituality for personal growth, how to become the best version of myself, how to be a good person, all that kind of stuff, how to connect to this higher power that's in the universe. And I thought tarot would be a wonderful way of doing that. So I bought a couple of decks, and then I got into grad school. And so that went away.
I was like, when you bought a couple of decks and then time available to study with them. Okay, let me ask you, what were the decks you bought? Do you remember?
The Rider-Waite Smith, Connected and Free, and I can't remember anything else. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
And then a couple of years ago, all of a sudden, another tarot channel came up. I believe it was Katie Flowers again.
Yes.
And I remember I got really excited and inspired. And next thing you know, I was buying decks. And I was looking for somebody on YouTube who was brand new, but I couldn't find anybody that was just right outside the gate. Everybody already had time and experience and could talk about it very freely. And I couldn't really connect in that way. Like, how do I go about this journey with somebody? So I quickly said, well, if there isn't anybody out there, I'll do it myself.
Yes.
So I decided to create this channel where people could follow my journey in learning the tarot, all the ups and downs, all the challenges, all my successes, all my failures and frustrations. And that's how that came about. And it was originally called the Joker's Adventure or the Joker's Journey.
Okay.
And then it became the Fool's Journey, but somebody already had that, some company, not a tarot tube. And all of a sudden the Fool's Apprentice came up, and I thought, oh my God, I love that, because I'm on the journey with a fool through the major arcana, learning it. So I'm the Fool's Apprentice. And so that was just the perfect name for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And you are right. Your channel is really, you're on this adventure.
Yes.
and you're sharing it. So you're sharing it from ground one, and that's wonderful.
And
That's
it's been I didn't realize I was going to be doing two things at one time: learning the tarot and how to learn the tarot, but
mm-hmm.
also how to be a YouTuber. So
Yes.
all of a sudden, I'm doing two things, and people are seeing how that's growing for me. Because if you look at my first few videos, oh my God, nightmare.
They're not nightmares. We are our own worst critic, Benny.
And I'm still learning because last week we did, me and Kelsey from Huggy Tarot did our first live. It was my first live, and then my camera halfway through just stopped. And
Mm-hmm.
so, oh, that was frustrating. But that is part of my journey as a new tarot tuber,
You
how
got
to
it.
figure those things out.
Yep. Yeah. And Hershey, the shadow reader, is here. I love Benny and his journey. So inspiring to me.
Oh,
And his hashtags are wonderful. Yes, they are. Want to say hi to a few more people. We have Kaylee from Fogo Pogo. And I did see Thomas from Tarot Your Way come in. Hello. Good to see you. So thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you for Hershey, who is reminding everybody to give a thumbs up. So that's perfect. Okay, and Marjorie McConnell is here. Hi, Marjorie. Good to see you. Good to see you. So your tarot journey, you're filming this.
yeah.
And a lot of your videos are sharing excitement as you've discovered a deck.
Oh my God. Yes, I love it. Okay. I've said it on my channel. Decks to me are like mini art museums that I can have in my home.
You got it.
I love artwork. I'm a very visual person. So I can get really, really easily stimulated and excitable when I see things that
Yes.
I think are really beautiful. And so when I find a deck that I love, I get really excited. And am I really that excited? Yes, I'm really that excited. I don't need the
Oh,
camera on
yes.
to be that excited.
Uh-huh.
But I know that to be very authentic, I like to do them on camera because if I see them first, you don't see the initial like reaction.
Yes.
But I think decks are amazing, and I will literally sit here by myself and just pull up a deck that I really like, and I'll just look through it, and I'll just
Yep.
like, and I'm not really studying or anything. I'm just enjoying the artwork because I find them so amazing.
They really are. Yeah, I agree with you. And tarot stash. I have a stash of tarot decks. I have a stash.
Oh,
So there you go. I also have a mustache.
I love it.
And I recently acquired, well, 4 years ago, I started acquiring a lot of decks.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2020, I acquired 64 new decks.
Wow.
That's a lot of decks.
Yes, I can relate.
Yes, yes. Um, and so I have done flip throughs of those on my channel, and that has been helpful because one of the things that I wanted to do, Benny, is I personally like to see all of the cards in a deck
Mm-hmm.
before I purchase it, so I know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So I also I have an opinion. I don't want anybody else's thoughts on the cards. I just want to see the images.
Mm. Okay.
So first impressions are not for me. If I watch stuff like that, what I will do is I will mute it so that all I can see is just the images. So when I do flip throughs, I will just show the cards. I won't tell you what I think about them. I I have a ruler that I use to measure them so people really know what the size is. And and that's been really helpful for me to be able to share those and to see those. And look, Hershey said Benny and Simon were my inspiration for my tarot challenges and my scavenger hunts.
Oh, very cool.
So, and I do see Fatima here. And Vanessa S said, I feel the same way about what Benny said. I get excited about the art in tarot, and I love that a mini museum at home. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just so intrigued how artists' minds work in recreating the cards.
Yes.
In those images, and sometimes they create images that are just completely like I never would have thought of, but when I see, I get excited when I see it. And what's exciting for me now is in my journey is when I would first look at a card, I would see them, I just couldn't see the meaning. I was just like,
Uh-huh.
see how they see that. But today, a year and a half later, I see a card and I'm like, oh, I get it. That makes sense to me.
Yes.
So it's really nice to be able to start recognizing that
Mhm.
I'm growing.
Yes. I love that. And that is one of the reasons I am a big fan of decks that come with a guidebook.
Oh yeah.
The bigger the guidebook, the better. So,
Oh,
um,
I have several. I have three big ones right now. I have I just yes, I have that one.
I
That
just got
was
this one, and I need to do some reading with this, and
it's
um,
amazing.
yeah, it is amazing. And Tom from Early Ritual was the reason that I got this. I don't know if Tom is watching, but I need to do a deck casual with this where we talk about this deck.
I
So
think that is probably the best guidebook that I have.
it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good, and I like the thoroughness of it.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. As you are, I mean, let's say you've been in a year and a half on your journey for learning tarot. What have you learned so far that you can share with people who are watching?
I think the biggest lesson that I've learned, sitting here just thinking about it, is that my interpretations of the cards don't have to be anybody else's. That
Correct.
that the tarot is a personal relationship, and if I have a different meaning for a card, um, that's okay, and it doesn't have to be
Yes.
anybody else's, and it's okay for people to disagree
Yes.
with my meaning. But when I do a reading, as long as that card speaks to me in that manner, then that's what it means in the reading. So I think that's the biggest lesson.
Yes.
I think on the other side is that I underestimated the amount of work necessary to just learn the basics of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was going to be a lot, but I didn't realize the amount of effort that would go into learning it
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know. I haven't even gotten to the court cards, and I haven't really dedicated myself in a way that I feel I need to be proficient. But I'm having fun, and for me, that has become more important
Yes.
because the time will come where I will know the cards and I will be comfortable in doing readings. But for right now, I'm just having a lot of fun with the journey.
That's beautiful. I love that. And it's really important. Jeffrey and I, my husband, we did a Tarot the Stash Way because I did a series. I do a series of videos about learning tarot
Mm-hmm.
because people have asked me, well, how do you do it? And I'm like, all right, we'll do a series called it Tarot the Stash Way. And I actually started with the court cards because court cards seem to surprise everyone. And one of the things that I have done is I want to talk about the meanings of the cards without showing cards because
Interesting.
I want people to find out, okay, what does a four mean? What does a sword mean? How do you put those two together to understand the meaning?
I love that.
So yeah. And speaking of Tom, Early Ritual, hello Tom. Did I manifest you? Because I mentioned this book. So
I will say, I'm very impressed with the fact that you know everybody's names, even though their actual name isn't on there. I'm going to tell you guys, I am not the best with names. I don't know what it is about my memory. When it comes to names, I'm really bad with it. In fact, I got so anxious about my memory in recent years that
uh-huh.
I had a neurological test for memory, and it turns out
Oh,
great. It's just that my mind doesn't work that way. I work with these nurses at this place at this clinic that I work at. I've been there since June, and I know two of the three nurses, and I see and talk to them every day, and it's an effort for me to it's been an effort for me to remember the names.
Oh, I completely understand. And let me tell you, I have these nice little cards. For a long time, I was writing people's names down
Maybe I need to do that.
to help me. People, it comes naturally, and you'll get it, and it's okay. It doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah, some people are really great with names. Like my brother meets you one time, 10 years later, he knows your name.
Wow.
I'm not that guy. I mention it because if you happen to come to my channel and I don't know your name right off the bat, please forgive me. It's just that's the way my mind works.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Tom is saying that I have a little file with everybody's information on it. I do not. Just on you, Tom. I have it just on you. so, um, so one of the things that I remember watching about you learning tarot is you got a tarot mentor, correct?
Yes, it was Nick's from A Cup of Tarot. He's on Instagram. He has a brand new deck on Kickstarter.
Very nice.
It's a really beautiful deck. The focus is on a particular, I think, Dutch artist and hands, which I'm really intrigued by because I used to be a sign language interpreter. And so, yes, I did. I met with him 3 or 4 times. In fact, I'm going to meet with him in the next couple of weeks. He's super smart. He knows the tarot and history, and he's really friendly and easy to talk to. He taught me a tarot spread that I really like. I call the Fool's. I think it's the Fool's Journey, where you take 12 cards. So you shuffle. You pull out the Fool. You shuffle the cards. You draw 12 of them. Then you take the Fool card and you shuffle them again. You ask your question. You lay them out, and wherever the Fool is where you're at in that journey.
Interesting. Oh, I
know.
like that.
I love it.
That's good. That's good. Well, I found that as I was watching your videos when I first connected with you, to which I don't remember how I got connected with you. It may have been in a Lisa Papez chat.
Yeah, I started doing tarot chats, and I shot big because one of my goals for this next year was getting somebody who was established in the community to come on. And so I said, you know what? Let me shoot big. Let me see if Lisa will come on. If anybody's going to say no and say it in the nicest way possible, it's going to be Lisa.
Yes.
And she responded very quickly, and she said yes. And so she was my first guest on my channel.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I adore her,
Yes.
and I'm so grateful that she was gracious enough to come on my channel, because she didn't have to, because I didn't have maybe 200, 300 subscribers at that time.
Yeah. Stay tuned. I've got something coming up with Lisa in the future.
Okay.
Stay tuned. So we have some more of the best chatters who have come in. So let's say hi to them. Oh, and Kaylee Fogo Pogo says, I don't know how he does it either. I'm horrible remembering names. So this is Tarot Ask Backwards. This is Jeff. Good to see you.
I love that name.
Yeah. Oh, and Jeff is an author. So he's written poetry and he does a lot of readings. And oh, Madame Maru's House of Cards is here. I can't believe I only just got my streaming notification.
I love that name too.
Yeah.
I can see it in my mind.
Yes. And we will be, I think Maru will be doing something on my channel coming up soon. And Colorful Foresight is here. Sylvia. And then we have Bohemian Rose Tarot. Good to see you.
Yeah, that's Jennifer. She was also very kind to get on my
yes, and I think I'm subscribed to Jennifer because of your channel.
Yeah, she ended up getting an amazing deck, the Bohemian Cat Tarot, I think it's called. The first edition. She did a walkthrough on her channel. Oh my God, the excitement of having that deck was so much fun. We got to chat about it.
I love it. I love it. So I love the idea of a tarot mentor and someone who is able to offer you support to learn tarot the way that works for you.
Yes. Yes. and he's really great about letting you kind of lead where you want to go. So we went card by card, and then I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't like the way this is going. Can we do something different? And so he's like, well, what do you want to do? And so he followed me on the path. He walked alongside me and really just helped me process,
Yes.
anything that was coming up. So I really, really like that about Nick.
I like that. Yes, I like that too, because that's exactly what a mentor does.
Yes.
Helps you where
And
you are.
And I used to be a mentor. As a sign language interpreter, I'd mentor all these interns. So I know what the role looks like and how I like to mentor and what I would like in a mentor. So I think that's one of the most important things you need to kind of ask yourself if you're deciding to get a mentor is what kind of person or what kind of education are you looking for?
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, and it's also, it's for me, it's the same way, Benny, as I choose which channels I'm subscribed to and which ones I watch regularly. It's because what am I learning from them? How are they supporting my own experience? So, Tom says that's a great approach. If you're trying to force something, you aren't going to connect with it. Not
Yeah.
at all. Not at all. And I do have to put this up because Vanessa S is being very kind, and I'm working on appreciating when people say nice things about me. And Vanessa says, I feel that Gerald pays attention to who we are as a person and not just a subscriber is how he remembers. That's true.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to what I think is what everybody hopes to have an experience in life is to be seen and to be heard.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
I love that. I love that. And you're welcome, Bohemian Rose Terror, which is Jennifer, correct?
yes.
Okay. Got to remember that one. So, and all right. So, so tarot decks.
Yes.
This is a big topic, obviously, and part of it is I'm curious about your most recent decks, your favorite deck. I know it's hard to pick your favorite.
No, it's not.
Okay, okay, and what you're currently using.
Okay.
So,
I knew you were going to ask the most recent, so I brought it out. Where did I put it? I brought it out, but where did I put it? Right? Oh, it's over here.
Isn't that the truth?
So it just came in day before yesterday. It's the Lorena Carrington.
Oh, okay.
She's a Mexican artist, and I haven't looked through the cards yet, so I'll pull them out so we can kind of see them. It's a majors only deck. It's still in the wrapper. I'm going to do a walkthrough of this, and I'm actually thinking of taking this full card and blowing it up and making it part of an art piece in my home, like over the couch or something. Because I really love this full. I think it's more Marseille.
And I have to say, and Tom is his is on his way. So
that's the full.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's stunning.
Ah, okay.
And so it was out of print for the longest time. It's in a very, very expensive deck. Very difficult to get a hold of. And then the publisher made an announcement last year that they were going to reprint it. And I jumped on it. And it's only like $33.
Oh, wow.
So
and it's a majors only?
It's a majors only. And I'm finally getting comfortable using a majors only.
Okay.
And this was from the last printing of the book. It came in a special edition box, the guidebook.
There's a guidebook. Look at that.
It is beautiful. It has all this information about the artist. The images are bigger size so you can see them.
Nice.
So I'm going to be doing a deck study of this one eventually, but it does come with a little guidebook. I highly recommend just going and looking at walkthroughs of these. I just like the fact that, culturally, I can, as a Mexican American, I can relate.
Yeah. Jennifer shared a tarot mentor at the beginning is so helpful. So are tarot friends. Practicing together in a coffee shop is fun. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I don't have anybody in San Antonio. That was another reason I started my tarot chat series, is because I wanted to be able to connect with
Mm-hmm.
people to be able to talk the tarot about, because I could talk tarot all day long.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So could I. I do
Yeah.
lots of shows. Thank you, Hypnicity, and Vanessa. And by the way, Tom has put in the link to that deck. So purchase responsibly. Know your limits. We're here to share, not to sell. Here's a question from Imelda. What does majors only mean?
Oh, well, it's the first 22 cards of the major arcana. The major arcana has 78 cards. The first section is the Fool to the, not the world. Is it the world?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have 4 suits that are ace to king. So let me see if I remember: cups, wands, swords, and pentacles. Oh my God,
Yes.
I'm amazing. Uh, so it's the first 22 cards. They're archetypes
Yes.
in society. So
Yes.
uh, it was
That's
a
a.
challenge trying to use those and not and trying to figure out how to use them.
Mm-hmm.
And I use them with oracle cards.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and majors only. It is just the majors of the major cards 0 through 21, the world, and so they don't have any minor cards. And depending upon how you read, for me, the major arcana are the big archetypes, the big
Mhm,
things that are going on.
mhm.
And there are lots of people who use only major. They use majors only decks often.
Yeah.
So so I completely get that. Oh, and Helen is here. Says I could listen all day. So well, welcome, Helen. I'm talking. Trying to
I
draw
love
Helen
it,
in,
everybody. That is so nice.
and oh yes, and it is surrealist
Yes.
art. So oh, and Hershey. Know your limits, purchase responsibly. And Imelda said, I thought it meant how fluent you were in readings. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
That makes sense. Hearing you say that. So
So other cards, my favorite. Okay, I'll give you my favorite. My
ooh,
favorite.
yes,
Yeah.
please.
By far. Okay. So when Terra Volatile came in, that was my favorite
Yes.
until
Uh-oh.
the Spoiler Tarot came in.
Ah, yes.
I absolutely love this deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say a very close second, like super close, is the Bohemian Gothic.
Okay.
So these are
Mm-hmm.
my top 3: the Bohemian Gothic, Terra Volatile, and the Spoiler Tarot. And the Spoiler Tarot works beautifully. Oh my God. This is going to be a pairing that will never be separated. Is When Olga Speaks. Have you heard of this one?
I haven't. I haven't.
Um, oh my God. It's really, really beautiful. So this artist, I can't remember her name right off the bat. This is an homage to her grandmother. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah.
she used images from Time magazine from the 60s and 70s and created this deck in the memory of her grandmother,
That's
whose name
beautiful.
is Olga.
Wow.
And she has really, really great cards in here. My favorite card is, I do a lot of grief work,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a card in here called, what is it called? Oh my God, I can't believe it slipped my mind.
Of course it did.
I'll find it. But she had a Kickstarter that was not successful, so she had cards left over, and she's going to. People ended up showing it on their channels, and all of a sudden, people have become very interested in it.
Oh.
And so now she's going to redo it, The Kickstarter, I believe it's going to
Uh-huh.
be in the summer. She's in grad school, so she hasn't really had the
Yeah.
time. Oh,
Mhm.
here it is. This is such a beautiful card, and the words I think are so powerful, and it's ambiguous grief.
Oh, okay.
And when grief, there's a lot of different types of grief, and it's one of my specialties in the work that I do. And then to hear something that was absolutely brand new that made total sense to me with the people that I work with was just new vocabulary and a new thing that I could offer to people I work with that
Mhm.
made sense, that gave people some comfort
Yes.
in, okay, this is a real thing. So
That's
this and the spoiler
beautiful.
tarot, they work so beautifully together. I also recently got back Connected and Free.
Okay.
Do you know this deck?
I don't know that deck.
Okay, I love this deck as well. It's an Oracle deck.
Mhm.
It went out of print several years ago.
Okay.
I seem to be having issues with my camera.
That's all right. You're doing fine.
And when I say I'm having, they have the chakras in here.
Oh, okay.
And when I say issues, is trying to get it in the mirror because the camera. So it's just a really beautiful
Oh,
deck.
nice.
Nice images, great words. I
Mhm.
use this with a deck I did not want that I ended up getting that I absolutely love now. The Spacious Tarot. I had no desire for it. No
Uh-huh.
desire. But she had it on sale for like $35 with the expansion pack.
This
Yeah.
one?
Yes.
Mhm.
I got it because it was $35. If I like it, great. If I don't, that's fine. It's only $35 for me. That's manageable. And I love it. And that's what I use
Yes.
Connected and Free with it. So that was a beautiful
Oh,
with tarot.
I love that. I love that. And by the way, Laura said Benny's Bohemian Gothic walkthrough is so fun.
Let me tell you, I about lost my mind. I did the first walkthrough and I forgot to hit record.
Oh, I have. We've all done that.
Oh
We've
my
all
gosh,
done
let me
that.
tell you. So I sat and pouted on my couch for a little while. And I said, Benny, get over yourself. It's just a tarot deck. Get over it. So I
Mhm.
came back on and I explained, and I didn't think I was going to be as excited, but I was just as well. I wasn't just as excited, but I was still pretty excited because it was still brand new to me. And I love
Mhm.
it. I love it.
Yeah. And by the way, Lexi is here. Hi, Lexi, and you are right on time. So thank you for being here. And oh, Tom is saying, "Oh no, Jeffrey, hide the credit cards." So I'm not using Jeffrey's money to buy my stuff. Tony from Antoinette Tarot and Jewelry. Tony, this is Benny, the Fool's Apprentice. Links are below. And and Lexi is like the Spacious Tarot is interesting. And oh, Early Ritual loves, adores Bohemian Gothic. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like if it were a movie, it'd be my favorite horror movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It'd be a romantic horror movie.
A
that's how
romantic horror movie.
that's how
Okay.
I describe the Bohemian Gothic.
Okay. That is not one that I have. And one of the things that words matter. I think words matter for me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I say is I curate my collection. I know what I like.
Yeah.
I know what I don't like. I know people who have a very similar interest that I do, the similar aesthetic. I also know people whose aesthetics don't match my personal collection. So and guess what? It's all okay because there are enough decks out there for all of us.
Yes. I will say that I'm learning what my aesthetic is. At the
Mhm.
beginning, I was just buying decks because when I was fascinated by them, I was excited.
Yep.
And so I just bought decks that I just was interested in. And I find that I'd say about half of them I really don't connect with.
Mhm.
So I'm starting to figure that out. I
Yes.
still think I'm pretty eclectic overall, but there isn't anybody on TerraTube that I think is more eclectic in their collection than Krista's Chronicles. Krista,
Mm-hmm.
she pulls out decks I've never seen that I
Yes.
would never use that are like, where did you find this? And some of them are very quirky, and some of them are very,
Yes.
I don't know, I would say like refined and very popular, and then very obscure. So yeah,
Yep.
it's so interesting to watch what people like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's great, and there's room enough for all of us.
I agree.
All of us. So if anybody comes for you for liking something, send them to me. I'll take care of it for you, because there are no tarot police.
No, oh, don't even get me started with that.
Yes. Well, let's say hi to some people, because
Okay.
the amazing Patrice is here. Do you know Patrice? Patrice, do you know Benny, the Fool's Apprentice?
I do not. Hi, Patrice.
Hello, Patrice, and hugs to Vernetta. And okay, we have Hershey's favorite is the Marielle Tarot.
I don't have that one.
Okay, but if we all wanted the same deck, there wouldn't be enough.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Maybe. And Rose Blue wanted to know, can Bohemian Gothic be used for political reads? Certain people can be dark. I think, hi, Rose Blue. I actually think any deck can be used for any type of reading. It just depends upon the intention of the person doing the reading.
I agree, because somebody earlier mentioned, what deck do you use for grief work?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And I believe that you really can use any deck. I do think there are decks that can be much more gentle in doing, like, I think the Spacious Tarot would be a gentle deck to use for grief work, probably grief work with a teenager. The I think the Solero Occulto would be a good grief work.
Uh-huh.
If you're dealing with very heavy grief, traumatic grief, I think oh God, what is it called? The Somnia Tarot would be great.
Oh,
In
uh-huh.
combination with the Death Doula Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Those would really make a great pairing for grief work if it's something that's really heavy.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah, and I think well, I don't want to tell everybody what I have coming up, but I will taunt you that part of the idea of tarot itself can be very healing in many different ways, and that's an upcoming topic. So, but I like this because grief grows, expands, it contracts. It doesn't fit into a box, really.
correct.
So
Yeah, and grief never goes away. It just changes.
yes.
The intensity of it comes and goes. I mean, it could be 10 years and you can have something that reminds you of the moment, and
Yep.
all of a sudden you're right back where,
Yes.
it just happened.
Yes.
And everybody's grief is very unique and very different and very personal.
Mm-hmm.
We have a trajectory that generally everybody follows. However, what that grief looks like for you is normal. You can have 5 kids in the same house who lose their mom, and all of them will have very, very
Yep.
different experiences, or can.
Yes. Very, very true. Actually, one of the things that I would love to do is I would love to do I do a series called Laugh and Learn, where we laugh about things while we learn. And grief is one of those things that it's come up on my channel a couple of times. And it would be great to be able to have that conversation in such a way just to help people understand how it works, what's involved, and validating their own experience.
Yes.
But it's on my list of things. By the way, Michelle Williams has joined us, and Patrice loves the pearls.
Oh, thank you. I will say that my generation, our generation, men and pearls didn't go together, but in the last like 4 to 5 years, they've been on the runway.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I wanted some pearls, and I love them, and I get compliments all the time, which is very surprising.
I love me some pearls. I love me some pearls. And Tony said, if we all had the same deck, Tarot Tube would be a tumbleweed.
I love that.
So yeah. And yes, Michelle, and please like and subscribe to Benny's channel. And Jennifer said, Benny, I found going to some local metaphysical shops and checking out classes is helpful. I'm teaching cards and convo class today. It's a big community building session. Find your tarot tribe. Absolutely. Yeah. And Lexi has said, my tarot study has seen me through some very dark times, and I'm forever grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. And Tom said, that is facts, Benny. It's amazing how different perspectives can be. Just thinking of how me and my little sister deal with our father's death when we were young children. Yep. Yep. And shout out to Lisa at Metaphysical Witchery, a new series on tarot and grief. Powerful. Ooh, I'm gonna look into that.
I'm friends with Lisa, and she spoke frankly and openly on our tarot chat about losing her husband.
Yes, I remember that. Because I'm subscribed to her channel. Yes.
Yeah, and she's going to do a series on grief, and she's going to be doing a series on grief as the person that has lost someone, and how she used tarot and how you can use tarot to help process grief. So I think that's going to be amazing.
Yes. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to take a sip because that's a lot of good information. So we've talked about your most recent, your favorite. And you on your channel, you're doing the I'm going to pronounce the deck study deck incorrectly that you're doing, but what's the deep dive deck you're using?
We're doing the Ehrenberg.
The
Ehrenberg tarot. We were initially going to do Meal Ends. I don't know if you've seen Meal Ends.
I haven't.
It's not on TarotTube a lot. Maybe like 3 people. I've seen it on 3 people's channels. And because she was already studying it, and I really like the imagery. It's in order. This is the Fool, and so I wanted to study this deck with her. But then we realized, and then we wanted to do a collaboration. So we decided to do a tarot study. And we were going to do this one, but it's an expensive deck. And we were like, not really a good idea if people wanted to in. So the Ehrenberg just came out. It's all over the place. So we thought that'd be a really good place to start with a tarot study.
Yes.
When I got it, I wasn't really happy with it. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to like this. But she says, Benny, but that's the great thing about it is you don't have to. And then when I started thinking, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Maybe I'll change my mind. And so we had our first live, which for me was a fiasco because my camera went out 30 minutes in. But we continued through the whole thing. We talked about the series. We're gonna do them in sections. So the major arcana will be recorded. Then we're gonna have a live so people can ask questions that are studying along. We can have a discussion. Then we're gonna go through each of the suits. And at the end of it, we're also going to do a live until we get done through the whole thing. So I've started my first real journal where I'm going through it.
Oh, look at you.
So this side for me is like, I'm just writing on the top my impressions of the card in general. And then the bottom part is the what I think about this particular card. And then I have the original one here. And then I'm just going to write stuff that Kelsey mentions that I like the card. And then during the lives, what other people say that piques my interest that I want to remember. And then as I start to learn the deck, all the little nuances just continue to add to it.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're actually writing this stuff down. It's a wonderful way for me. Writing it down helps me remember it.
Yes.
And I have a 3-ring binder, which has got my tarot notes in it. I love the idea because as I'm reading different books, I get some gem, or in a live, somebody has said something to me and I'm like, ooh, I've got to write that down. That is so, so good.
Yeah,
So
what I
good.
found, I think one of the things that the journal has done for me, surprisingly, is that it's made my studies more intentional because I am reading and processing and
Yep.
trying to draw the information I think is very pertinent, and
Yes.
then putting it down. And so that whole process is much more intentional. And I think that's going to
Mhm.
help me in developing a better
Yes.
relationship with the card.
Yes. Hypnicity Nalani said, "Did you create that journal?"
Yes, well, I didn't make the journal itself. The journal itself I got from Amazon, great deal. And then, but yes, the inside is mine.
Hmm. All right. There are a few other things that people have said that I would like to go back to, and um, all right, and all right. Rose Blue was sharing that she's been going through some grief too, so I'm sorry to hear about that. And um, Tom loves the Mio Ims. That's the one you were going to use?
It's this large one right here that I
Yes.
was showing.
Hmm.
It's a
Yeah.
very intriguing deck. Very intriguing.
Yeah. Lexi loves the deck you're using, and for your chat. And Nancy said, "My tarot and oracle decks helped me navigate when my husband passed. An amazing tool when embracing grief."
Yep. And I
Yes.
love that you used embracing grief.
Yes.
I have this thing that I talk with the people I work with, the difference between pain and suffering. And
Hmm.
this isn't my own original thought. It was actually an 8-year-old child that came up with this. That they had asked this class, a monk asked this class of kids what the difference between pain and suffering was, and everybody really struggled. And then this kid popped up and said um, that suffering is not wanting the pain to be there.
Oh, interesting. Suffering is not wanting the pain to be there.
Right. And it makes complete sense to me. So I work with clients and people who don't want to experience grief, that push grief away, suffer a lot more. It's
Yes.
physical pain, emotional pain. So when I see embracing grief, what you're doing is you're experiencing grief. You're not
Yep.
suffering with grief.
Yes, that's true. Right now we have 36 people watching. So PD from the Tarot Lounge is here. And Tony did mention that your shirt reminds her of the Mind's Eye Tarot deck images. Are you familiar with the Mind's Eye?
I don't think so. Not by name.
It would be this lovely deck that
Oh, I'm
it's
familiar with it, but I don't have.
yes, yep, I do. It's a recent acquisition. And it's beautiful. So Care Bear, Bard of Cards, is here. And thank you, Maru, for putting in a magical journey through grief coming soon. That's great. And uh, subscribe to your channel. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And oh, and Tom is teasing. I told you he keeps us in a binder. I keep you in a little box, and I take you out, and I let you see the sunlight every once in a while. Give you coffee, and oh, thank you. Tony put in the link to my Tarot the Stash Way, so I appreciate that.
Oh, good. I'm going to check that out. I haven't seen any of those yet, so I'll definitely check that out myself.
And sorry, broken record, but the Mio has my favorite Six of Swords and Hermit cards.
I'm going to have to look those up now.
Yes, well, of course you are, because this is what happens. We have our own free will, but we are highly influenced. So, and so what is what's a deck that you want to find?
Oh, okay. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Of course you would ask me that. It is believe it's called the Masculine and Feminine Oracle deck. Something to that effect. In fact, I don't even know where my phone is at.
If you need to go get it, you can.
Well, I'm gonna see if it is in I actually, so I have several things that I do to keep track of decks. I have a
Okay.
playlist on YouTube called Tarot Decks, and it's a playlist of all the tarot decks that I either own
Mm-hmm.
or I want to own. So that's like also a wish list, so I
Okay.
don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a list on my phone that I'm actively looking for, and then I have
Yes.
decks on a website, saved and bookmarked on my website
Mm-hmm.
on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to see if I have it. I don't have it on here because you asked me. I have to go look
I know, and
in case somebody has it.
yes. Oh, here, let me do something silly. Go, go, go.
Okay,
It's all
okay.
good. I'm going to here. We will. Uh, Here, we'll do this. This section of the video is brought to you by the word discombobulated. Everyone say it with me. Discombobulated. Discombobulated. Characterized by confusion or disorder. Feeling discombobulated? Just like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Discombobulated. I didn't mean to discombobulate you by asking you that question.
It's
So,
fine. I usually have my phone next to me, and I don't. So I have my list of. I've been searching for this one since I'm. So one of the challenges that I face as a tarot enthusiast is
mhm,
finding enough decks that are balanced in masculine and feminine energy, or
mhm,
skew over a little towards the masculine side. It's a
uh-huh,
frustration of mine.
uh-huh.
So the divine feminine and masculine reunited oracle deck is a deck that I've been looking for,
Oh,
and I cannot find it. It has been frustrating, but I know that it will come when it's good. It's supposed to come. I This last year I got crazy unicorn decks one after
yeah,
another.
you did. You got really lucky, dude.
Oh man, I got two spoiler turtles. Like who gets that?
You
Um,
do.
yeah. So I'm also looking for the Habitrom tarot.
Oh,
That's a new one. It came out like 6 months ago. I had an opportunity to buy it. I waited like a day and then it was sold out.
oh no, I hate
Yeah.
that.
And then I'm looking for the Buddha Doodles deck of cards.
I
Uh,
don't know that one.
it's adorable. It's an oracle deck. It's very sweet. Um, I'm a Buddhist who happens to be a Christian.
Uh-huh.
I was born Catholic, who who renounced everything. I don't need any of this, uh,
Yes.
and who found his way back. And
Mhm.
um, as a Buddhist, I can incorporate Christian values. As a Christian, I can't incorporate Buddhist values. You know,
Mm,
that whole
okay.
thing. And so that deck really spoke to me. But I don't have any major deck that I'm like I really need to have anymore because all the ones that I ever really wanted, I finally got them, and so I just was very, very blessed last year.
Mhm. That's
Very blessed.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think part of that is the magic of manifestation, something that you want, and you having the excitement about it and you sharing it helps to perpetuate that.
I think that is how I ended up getting the spoiler tarot
Mhm.
because um, I s- I didn't realize how much I was going to love it until I got it,
Yes.
and I connected with it so quickly. And I don't know, I like if I lost everything, it would be the one deck I would want to save. Like and
Mhm.
and it's also a deck that there's so much to it that you could study it forever.
Sure. Yes.
So
I like a deck like that. Something that every time I look at it, I'm discovering something new or I'm putting cards together in a new way because it's like I've not noticed that that card, that image is repeated in these three cards. So
yes.
I completely love that.
They did a lot of work. I will say that the challenge with this particular deck is the cardstock's really thick. So I've had to learn how
Uh,
to shuffle it in a way that's
yeah.
not common, or I have to separate the deck into
Yes.
two stacks.
Yes.
But there isn't a thing I don't like. It even has my biggest pet peeve are the Eight of Wands and the Three of Swords. Those are my pet peeves. because
Okay. Yes.
people really create great imaginative images with the cards. And then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you get to the Eight of Swords and the uh, three of wands,
Eight of
three of
Wands
swords
and
and Eight of Wands. And then all of a sudden it's like the same old image.
yes.
Um, they feel like throwaways sometimes, even though it's still an artist's decision. But
Yes.
I had enough of complaining about it that I ended up making a video of my favorite Eight of Wands,
I
and
remember that.
beautiful Eight of Wands there were out there.
There really are. And I'm trying to find, because I saw that and I was like, I wonder if Benny has seen this. And I've got you coming on my channel. So I was going to ask you, and I'm quickly scrolling through the Zany Tarot, seeing if I can find the Eight of Wands. Where is it? Where is it? Of course.
Well, you're looking for that. I'm going to show you three of my favorite cards in the spoiler tarot. One of
Yes.
them, the Three of Wands. It's still three swords through the heart, but I find it so interesting. The color choices, the
Mm-hmm.
use of negative space, the use of scale. I just think it's great. The Empress, love this Empress.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Stunning. And then this is one of my favorite devil cards of all time. Simple, powerful,
Oh, interesting. Yes.
love it.
Yes. Yes.
So
And okay, so here is the Eight of Wands.
I have seen that one. That one is interesting.
Yep. Yeah. My friend Zane created this deck, and it's beautiful. And I'm like going, I love that because it is a deck. You what?
I love the colors and
Yeah.
the use of space and depth and
Mm-hmm.
movement, the implied movement in it. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes. So, and I do pay attention to the Ace of the Eight of Wands, and I am critical of Three of Swords, because I'm like, going, do something different, people.
Yeah.
Do something different.
So one of the videos I'm going to do in the next month is the Eight of Wands. Found some great Eight of Wands, but now I'm going to look at the Three of Swords.
I love that.
And hopefully I stop complaining.
And Care Bear said, and the Anatolian creator of the Terror of the Abyss left me a comment. I was so excited. Oh, because they're referenced Overachiever and Purchase Responsibly in my latest video. So I tagged Gerald's channel. Okay. And just getting caught up in chat. I've missed some people. And PD agrees with you. With the same image of the Three of Swords and the Eight of Wands. And I love artists and art and deck creators create a little handheld gallery. It's so great. I agree.
I just had a thought. Because when I did the Eight of Wands, they all spoke very differently and how they represented the Eight of Wands. I'm thinking, I wonder if I could shuffle them, create and do a spread just with the Eight of Wands and see what that would look like.
I think that could be a lot of fun.
I might end up doing a video on that. I think
love
would be
that.
really interesting.
I love that. Rose Blue said that looks like the mobile made by an artist many years ago. Was that Alexander Calder, Rose Blue, that you're thinking? So, and yeah, it's such a neat idea to mix all of those cards. I like doing that. I love doing that. So, and but yeah. So, okay, this is we're at an hour and 5 minutes. So we've been going. What tell people who are watching about your YouTube channel, what can they expect when they subscribe to you? Because you've subscribed, right, everybody? Do it. I mean,
I think several things. I think first and foremost, I just want people to have fun on the channel and enjoy this ride that I'm on.
yes.
And there's a couple of things. I think when I do card flip throughs, I think what it is just you're on the journey of seeing what it is that my experience in the cards. I'm not there to teach you anything about the cards themselves. But you will see from time to time like this light bulb go off in
Yes.
me when I recognize a card in the image, and all of a sudden I can talk about the card in a
Yep.
way that I haven't done before. And sometimes I'll recognize that I do that and I'll acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
I think my tarot chats, I think that's the biggest thing that I do on my channel is create, is like yourself, the tarot chats, because it builds community.
Yes.
And I liked really talking to other tarot tubers because I want to learn about their process, the equipment they use, the challenges
Mm-hmm.
they face,
Yes.
how they come up with ideas. For one, so they can, other tarot tubers can see, oh, they go through the same process I do. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that idea I didn't realize.
Yes.
Um, I think some of the biggest surprises for me have been finding out that people are still using they're using their iPhones, and it looks like they're using a camera. And so
Yes.
I think that frees people up to, oh, well, maybe I can start a tarot tube
Yes.
channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, inspiring people to do the start a tarot tube channel because I honestly don't think there are enough of them out there. I think
Mm-hmm.
everybody's perspective is very unique and everybody's
Yeah.
personality shines differently.
Yes.
Um, and so, and then also just seeing me personally grow uh,
Uh-huh.
as a tarot tuber and as a tarot
I
uh,
like that.
tuber.
Yeah. And Patricia said, I love Ben's channel. He's so enthusiastic, curious, and always sincere. Benny is precious.
Oh, thank you.
Keeping praising your general direction, Benny. So be forewarned. And Nancy says Benny has 799 subscribers. Let's get him more.
Oh my gosh.
So we got to get you to 800. So
800.
and
I didn't realize it was that high.
all of those people need to stay subscribed. So and okay, I would love to know if you, Benny, spent more time talking about how you study as someone newer to tarot. I remember how lost I was when I started. That part of the journey is often overlooked.
Yes, there are some videos that I've done. Like I did a video on my tarot elements journal, which
Mm-hmm.
I thought was a disaster and I hated it. And I showed it. And so it's showing how I'm trying to learn, but also how maybe I'm not always very happy with what's going on.
Uh-huh.
I talk about the mentorship and why I ended up doing
Yes.
mentorship. So there are videos where I do talk about my I talk about my goals, my frustrations. So I think I should do probably an update.
That would be fun. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
do talk about it in videos here and there. Like today, I just mentioned the court cards. I haven't even gotten to them. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not really dedicating underestimating the amount of time necessary to really put in to get proficient with the cards. So it comes up, but I don't have a lot of videos where I specifically talk about the challenges. Um, I think I do have a video regarding my goals where I do talk about that.
Yes.
Top 10 hints for beginners.
Yes. And
I have
yeah,
that.
that's really helpful. And it's like one of the things that I try to do in Tarot the Stash Way is talk about basics because I want people. I sound like I'm all that. I want to encourage to think people to think about the cards without necessarily having a particular image in mind. Say the Three of Swords, it, and they're going to remember that Three of Swords image. So I've tried to take away the images and let's talk about the swords. What does that mean? Let's talk about the threes. What does that mean? Where does that fall on the journey from the one or the ace through the 10? So sort of things like that. So it just it works. I'm getting on my high horse. Sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the things that I do in trying to learn the tarot, there's a couple of things. One is I really pay attention to people who do walkthroughs, but they do really in-depth walkthroughs. For
uh-huh.
example, Kelly and Truth and Story.
Oh yes. Uh-huh.
I learn a lot when I go through her walkthroughs, and I have a lot of stuff. I've
Yes.
actually taken two of her courses. Her courses are amazing.
I've
For
taken her courses too.
her prices are very reasonable for the amount of time that she gives you. She's amazing.
My little For the Love of Divination is right there.
She's like my guru. Like if I'm in an intellectual space where I want to study, she's the channel I go to.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If I want to learn, but I don't want it to be so studious, Lisa Papez is where I go to.
Oh yeah.
Those and so then I also will find walkthroughs and I'll save them.
Mm-hmm.
People will talk about the cards and I'll learn that way as well. I'm a visual and auditory learner best.
Uh-huh. Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of people who are using their phones to record. For my first year and a half of creating YouTube content, I used my iPad. I was doing all sorts of lives just with my iPad. So it was great. And yeah, they're nice little details. You know, StreamYard, once you figure it out, it's okay. So
that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm trying that's where I'm where I'm kind of challenged right now as a tarot tuber is this streaming. Last week, of course, my camera broke, but I found one that I want to try. StreamYard is double the price of some others, but it seems to be one of the most popular ones. But I ended up just finding Ecamm, which is highly recommended by somebody I follow that I'm going to try because it works really well with Mac. So I'm going to try that one next.
Yeah. Well, in StreamYard, you can get a free account. It does have limited things.
Yeah, and then you have the logo on it. I'm one of those people.
I hear you. I hear you. Lexi says Benny does foster such community on his channel. Yes. And Vanessa S said there was a video Benny made about unicorn decks and how he changed his way of thinking about how different each individual considers what is a unicorn deck for them.
Let me tell you, to be honest, I had my nose in the air about it. I saw somebody do a unicorn deck, and I'm like, that's not a unicorn deck. I mean, I got really emotional about it.
Okay.
And then it really, really bothered me. And so I have learned to be very introspective. And so I was like, why is that bothering me? Why is that bothering me? And it took about 3 days or so to finally get to a place where like my definition of what a unicorn deck just really flipped. And I had to realize that unicorn decks have personal meanings for everybody. And who am I to decide what that definition is? And really, when it's all said and done, a unicorn deck can be something as like a deck that just costs a lot more than someone is willing to pay, and they have to save money for it.
Yes.
I have to remember that my economic status is different than other people's, you know, and, you know, a $20 deck may be a lot of money for somebody.
It is. Yes.
For a lot of people, actually. And so that kind of, I had to really put myself in my own place.
Yeah. And you're sharing this understanding, which is really beneficial for people who are watching. I think it's great. I am also a firm believer, Benny, that people, you know, everybody can, there's enough room for all of us on YouTube and social media. People will find you when they need you. So you may not get a lot of subscribers or a lot of views. Keep the stuff up because people need to hear different voices. So
I will tell you that I have so much fun doing these videos. They're a lot of fun. Now, I will also say that I've been surprised at how much work it takes to make a video.
Yes.
It takes a lot more time. I'm also very lucky for me that I'd say about 90 to 95% of all my videos are one take.
Yes. Yes.
I do have some where I make errors and stuff, and so I'll put bloopers at the end.
Yes. Yes.
So that saves time. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. And that's one of the things I decided early on. If I made it through the first 30 seconds, I was not starting over. I wasn't going to edit. So some of my early videos, the flip throughs are just crazy. So, but that's okay. And yeah, PD loves the diversity in what we do. And this just in, he has 800 now. You have 800
Oh,
subscribers.
wow. That's
So,
awesome.
so
I'm
thank
excited.
you, everybody. Yeah, this is wonderful. Y'all are great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So your hashtag Saturday.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So one of the things that couple of things. I wanted a series and I wanted something that was like my own because everybody has their own little thing. Like people like you have your thing where what was it called with the stash at the end?
Well, there's Terror the Stashway.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, yes,
So you have your own little series. Lisa Papez has like this or that.
yes,
People have their own thing. And so I wanted something that was unique to my channel.
absolutely.
But I also wanted to do something that I thought was a lot of fun for me. And one of the things that I like looking at are hashtags. And
Mhm.
I'm only a year and a half or so in, and there are tons of hashtags I have never seen that
There
are
are.
old and some that are new that are exciting. And I just thought, what if I do a hashtag? And I do one every week. And so I was just, coming up with brainstorming ideas. And then hashtag Saturday came up, and that's where that came from. And so I purposely will go way back and pull a hashtag that
Mhm.
people probably don't know about who are brand
So
new
good.
and redo it. And so, and then I do new ones and I create my own. I have a series within the hashtag 5 decks blank, blank, blank. So I have one called 5 tarot decks I'd save from a fire, 5 oracle decks I'd save from a
Mhm.
flood, five animal decks I'd save from extinction. And then I got another one coming up.
Oh, so you all know what I'm going to say. Get over there. You got, be in the know. Make sure
And I
you.
specifically picked 5 because it makes it difficult. It makes you critically think about what decks would I save in this little genre.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so all of a sudden, and it's hard for me. It's really hard sometimes to figure out what deck would I save. And sometimes I have like 2 or 3 that I have to choose only one from. I can pick one really easy or maybe 2 really easy. And then the other ones I have to I have to pull the decks out. I have to look at them. And so that's I think a really fun challenge.
Oh, I love it. And Patrice has asked, what's the best way for searching and finding tarot stash tags?
The way I do it is I look for people who have been around a long time. So, like Lisa's been around, I think like 6 or 7 years. So I'll go to her first videos, look at her hashtag, the oldest one I find, and then I go to who created it to see if they have more videos, and then I go to them and find their first hashtag. And so I just go back and back and back that way.
Mm,
It's a fishing expedition.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, Tony said yes. 5 creators would be how I do that. So that, I mean, well, and see, and I think it's one of those things that when you're first starting a YouTube channel, hashtags are a great way to find other readers. You follow, type in that hashtag and follow it and see what's going on. It's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
And hashtags
Absolutely.
and if you're a brand new territory where hashtags are a great way to come up with content if you're struggling with content.
Mhm.
When I first started, I was like, what am I like? What am I gonna do? Like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough ideas. I have a notebook worth of
Oh,
videos
yes.
you can
Yes.
make. I didn't realize like how expansive things can be.
It's so incredible. So Benny, I like to end my interviews finding out what is bringing you joy right now,
In regards to tarot or just in life in general?
just in life in general.
Well, the big thing is that I just bought a house.
Congratulations.
First house, so that's going to be really fun. I'm going to get to create a brand new room just for tarot and my videos and a study room because I'll have space for that. My dogs are everything. They are. I have a terrier mix named Precious, who I adopted from the pound. And then I got a long-haired Chihuahua named Otis, who I absolutely adore. I did a video on them. And really, I'm a big family person. My closest sibling, Mario, has a baby boy who is 18 months. He lives like 4 hours away, and I go there almost every month. We see each other FaceTime 2-3 times a week. He is my favorite human being on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have nieces and nephews that are in their early 20s that I spend time with. And then tarot. Tarot brings me a lot of joy. I mean, I just have a lot of fun. Right now, I'm doing the collaboration with Kelsey. I'm coming up with a new series. I'm right after this. I'm going to go live at 1:00 on my channel to do my first live, and it's my 100th video.
Yes, I
So
love that.
I'm going to be taking questions, talking about decks, just everything and anything, whatever anybody wants to talk about. So yeah, those are the kinds of things, I have an appreciation for life today that I didn't necessarily have in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just really enjoy my life. I have a really good life.
Beautiful. That's great. That's great. When do you move into the house?
I made the offer yesterday, and it got accepted. Well, let me phrase that. It got accepted yesterday, so probably the end of April. I was gonna switch out all my decks because it's springtime, so I'm gonna switch them. But I'm probably gonna leave them and just pull out a few here and there because I have to repack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
But it's a big deal. Like from where I come from, owning a house isn't really something that's in the forefront, and
oh yeah.
so I talk about the Five of Pentacles in my channel, and that's my favorite card.
Okay.
What's your favorite card, just out of curiosity?
It is the Two of Pentacles.
And why the Two of Pentacles, if you don't mind me sharing?
Because the Two of Pentacles, it is about how to balance in different environments. And for me, in particular, in the time that I was really learning tarot, I was learning to balance my personal beliefs, the beliefs of others, others' opinions, my own opinions, others' thoughts, my own thoughts. And so it's a very, very practical thing for me. And so it is my favorite card in the deck, and I always look at it. And I have passed on decks when I haven't liked the Two of Pentacles. So,
that's nice. It's interesting how cards hit people right in their heart, and how they end up being their favorite. That's wonderful.
Yep. Yeah. So, any last minute thoughts before we head off?
No, I'd like to say that if you're new to this journey, I think the most important thing that I've learned is have fun in the process. If I've realized when I started getting frustrated and putting a lot of pressure on myself, I would want to avoid the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wouldn't really learn. So keeping it fun, I think, is important at the beginning.
Yes.
If you want to start a tarot channel, my biggest piece of advice is just do it. Just do it. Period.
Yes. And everybody is not going to like what you do. If you're having fun, people will like watching it.
Yes, I agree.
And it doesn't have to be perfect.
And if you want to reach out for any kind of support or advice, please feel free. One of the easiest ways is on my Instagram, same name, Schools Apprentice. You can message me there. I will always respond. And I try to respond to all my comments on my videos as well.
Yes. All right, everyone, thank you. And do that thing where you go over to Benny's channel and subscribe and stick around for what the first live is today.
Yes, at 1:00 Central Time.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Benny. Hang out for just a minute, and we'll catch up. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.